Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Mahoutsukai no Yome Season 2, Episode 16, or Season 2, Part 2, Episode 4, I think would be the other classification. Ugh, fucking cables. Oh boy. I have even more cables than usual because I'm using a double mouse setup right now. This mouse has a functional scroll but non-functional left click. It just when I try to drag things around, it just loses the click sometimes. And this one has a functional click, but the scroll wheel doesn't work. So depending on the workload, I use one of those. Mice. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Mahoutsukai no Yome, of course. What happened in the previous episode? Let's start with that, because a lot has happened. First of all, our students played a little game together, unlocking some wooden sphere. Chise lost one, so her hair got turned black for a while, and that game gave Rian and Philomela a chance to interact. I guess I don't want a chance to. I don't want to say a chance to talk or be together or something. No, a chance to interact. And in particular, it gave Rian a chance to air his grievances towards Philomela. Right, like, oh, you were always so good at this game. Why are you giving up? Why did you just throw this match? What's going on with you? Rian really mourns the loss of Philomela as he knew her as a child, basically. Philomela storms off, goes to hide somewhere. Chise, of course, runs after her because she's a good friend like that. In the meantime, Elias interacts with Alcyon, which is interesting and really plays into my theory that Elias is also an artificial fairy to some degree, because Alcyon thought that Elias is just like her, and I would assume it's not without reason that she thought that. Then, what else happened in that episode? Fuck. One of the twins, Jasmine? Violet. Violet approaches Chise and Elias, and it's alluded that Violet wants to be a mage, not a sorcerer, so that's also something that might bear some fruit in the future. And eventually we see an outbreak of a mysterious illness. Plenty of people, plenty of students storming the nurse's office because of probably the same thing that ails Jasmine's son George, and we don't know what that is. We can only assume that it has to do with the Testament of Carnamagos, but we don't really know, do we? Could be something completely different. In the meantime, the werewolf mother returns to Granny Dearest and asking for her pups back, and Granny says that yeah, sure, no problem. It's about time we release them anyway. And it's revealed that the werewolf is modified somehow. There are some staples or something in her temple that, I know, her brain was fiddled with or something like that. Granny loses any last shreds of sympathy, if she didn't lose them already, to be honest with you. She is almost the perfect villain. No sobby backstory to her, no grey morality. No, she's just an evil bitch, and I will gladly see her die and suffer. That's who she is. And we lack villains like that in modern media, honestly. Every villain has to be somehow, has to have a backstory and has to be justified in some way. Yada, 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 yada. No, give me a granny, give me someone to hate. That's what I like. I mean, sure, some subtlety here and there and some backstories and stuff like that is fine every now and then, but But you need to keep the balance between the redeemable villains and the irredeemable ones. And I'm gonna pause it for a moment. You're not gonna see it. I need to close the window. Yeah, it's cold outside, but I wanted to let some fresh air in, but it started to get a little bit chilly. There's snow outside, and there's a snowplow driving right by my window. Another good reason to close it so that I can hear it. So, with all of that, I guess we can start watching this episode. So, how about we do exactly that? You will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what is going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 16 of Ancient Magus Bride, season 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's playing. I thought that the timer started, but the video didn't, but no. Oh, and there's also the test of courage. I love clapping parts of music in general. Clapping was my favorite part of the Amaburi. Yeah, Amagi Brilliant Park opening, and this is probably my favorite part of this opening as well. And still no subtitles. I know, I'm gonna have to find them separately or something. Okay. Lotto. Right, Rian had a little bit of a falling out with Joe as well. Isaac. I know his name is Isaac, but I can't help it. Also, bumping up. Oh, the teachers know. Weren't you bedridden? Chise and Philomela. Joe with Rian. Okay, whatever with whatever, whoever with whoever. Oh, those three are teamed up. What are the main pairs? Of course. That's some holy. Okay, this is like well prepared with stamps and everything. And printed sheets, custom made stamps. I guess it's easy to make when you have magic, right? You can just magic the stamp into existence. Of course. uh, oh, right. Yeah, she wanted to be with a friend. Oh, Veronica with Chise? Oh, that's an unexpected couple, but there's potential. There's potential to it. Can we learn something more about Veronica? Can we possibly learn something more about Veronica? Please, thank you. You like shy girls, don't you? My cat just sneezed. Oh, just straight out with it. Sure. Not even a. Yeah, not even a segue, not even a shred of subtlety. Yeah, another just straight question. Yeah, sometimes maybe when they like make a deal with a neighbor or something. But no, they are of course not tied by family blood or I know clan feuds or anything like that. Someone's gonna find themselves in a lot of hurt, but it's not gonna be Chise. I guarantee. Oh, I love how they draw eyes in this show. Yeah. Could it be that Veronica actually isn't sus? I was suspicious of her all this time. Well, that's no bueno. Oh, I thought someone's tentacles. Alright then. I thought it's maybe the mysterious plague at school right now, but no. Oh, was Philomela like her food tester? Nope, I want Philomela. Why are you wearing black? Morning clothes? Did one of your parents die perchance? Yeah. I'm not asking kindly. I'm commanding you. Could it be that Granny does all of it to free her family from being under the Rickenbackers? Fair, yeah. Well, damn. Philomela has 2 girlfriends now. Philomela the girl magnet. Okay, so there is that creepy, haughty side to Veronica still. I mean, she is a Rickenbacker and she is talking to a sergeant. So of course it's gonna get, you know, it's gonna be hard to get out of this mindset. Not anymore. Yeah, Alcyon. Hmm. Granny probably killed them. Or had them assassinated. Or framed them for something. So many possibilities. No, she's not. Hmm. We can start with that. We can start with making Philomela a person again. And that makes her a perfect person to help Philomela. She has absolutely no ties to any of the sorcerer families. Okay, so it seems to me like Veronica is nice. She is a nice girl, all things considered, but she still has those, you know, she was brought up, she was raised as an Ojo-sama, so she behaves the part. Yes. uh, and again, I really expected Rian to go with Joe, but no. Another subversion. Would it? Okay. Apparently. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And that's the image from the opening, or close to it at least. Okay. Yeah. Legit, though. Irian isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, is he? Or I guess he has very low emotional intelligence. Oh, so the mirror actually works. Hello, Philomela. Hmm. So at least some of those rumors are real, unless it's just Rian's mind playing tricks. Is he actually going to see something? Or is Philomela? Because we're similar? Oh, I was. I thought for a moment that he's gonna take off his hoodie and there's gonna be some big reveal. Okay, so I guess they have this in common that they are kind of family subservient to another. And here started the head covering. Hmm. I hope we get Isaac's backstory. Or thinking deeply in general. Yeah. Okay, we still have a few minutes left. Shark Avalanche. I'm pretty sure I've seen Shark Avalanche. Oh? Do you smell fear particles, or is the mysterious illness spreading? Fair. Uh, he needed an outside perspective, I guess. Or he needed a couple of sources to tell him the same thing for it to sink in. Now, what was that about the smell, Chise? Oh, was he in on it? That's a death flag. From a death flag. Oh! Okay. Well, that was unexpected. Oh. Okay. I thought it's something to do with the mysterious illness, with the Carnamagos testament, shit like that. But no, it's just a friendly ghost. Okay, what's going on? Werewolf pups have been erased from her memory or something? I don't know, man. What the fuck is going on anymore? That was a nice and fun episode, but with some substance. With some substance. Although, to be perfectly honest with you, I kinda expected something more. I really expected the like main plot of the Carnamagos and stuff like that to be kind of moved forward, but I guess it was mostly just an interpersonal episode. Talking, airing grievances, growing as characters, stuff like that. And I'm very sorry, but I'm kind of hungry, so I need to stop my hunger a little, satiate it a little, so that I can focus on what I'm watching. Oh, nope, spoilers. Please not. Please don't. In hindsight, I probably should have eaten before recording. But as they say, hindsight is 2020, right? And I'm wearing glasses. I don't know. It's late. So let's watch this episode again. Yeah, Kimodameshi. 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 7 locations across the campus. Hanging Tree, Garden of the Eternally Lost. Window into the Netherworld, the Hall of the Headseeker, Impostor's Mirror. The Room of Lingering Voices, Twisted Observatory. And a horror movie at the observatory. And out of nowhere, Jasmine. For a moment, I was confused because of the doorway behind her. I thought that she has long hair suddenly, and I was kind of confused. Is it Violet or Jasmine? Am I like mistaking them for each other, or what's going on there? But no, it's just a doorway. I fully expected Chise to go with Philomela so that they can talk everything out and they are kind of forced to be with each other. Similarly, I fully expected Rian to go with Isaac so that they are forced to be with each other and air their grievances. For the other people, I really had no expectations. Maybe Veronica with Lucy. But that's about it. It really surprised me the how the pairs, the groups were formed. Lucy with what's his face? Why is he not listed here? He is Zoe. Lucy with Zoe, I guess makes sense. Zoe has a little bit of a crush, so that's gonna help him. And Lucy's very down to earth, so of course she doesn't care about any scary stories. And of course she was roped into it by Chise, and yeah, she doesn't want Zoe's secret to get out, so she should be the one to be with him, or any other of the friend group. I really like what happens here. Between Chise and Veronica. An unexpected pairing, and I also like how Zoe was paired with Lucy, and we saw all the other secondary characters shown before. Because Zoe going with Lucy would mean that we have Philomela, Isaac, Rian, and Veronica left. So, and Chise, I guess that doesn't fit. But yeah, in any case, when I saw that Zoe is with Lucy, my first thought was, hey, so that means I'm correct, because Rian and Isaac are left, so of course they're gonna make a pair. Chise and Philomela are left, so of course they're gonna make a pair. But I didn't account for Veronica being there. So I guess Veronica would go with... Who was left there? Violet. Yeah, Veronica would go with Violet, so whatever, it doesn't really matter, they're background characters. That was kind of my line of thinking. But I like this much more. I really like this pairing much more. We finally learn about Veronica. And honestly, it's still kind of hard to get a read on her. Because at times she behaves like, you know, she's friendly. Oh, I wanted to help Philomela. Oh, you have trouble talking with people. Well, that's a skill that you can train. You have no trouble talking with others, right? You can do it, Chise. You can do it, right? Sometimes she's friendly like that, and sometimes her face is covered in a shadow. She does this to Chise, and like, how cute with that, you know, haughty expression on her face. It's I think her haughty side is a matter of upbringing, right? She throws around casually that it's an order because she's used to ordering people, because she knows that she can order the sergeants around. And as herself, like, putting the upbringing aside, as herself, she's a nice person. That would be my best whatchamacallit, my best theory about her, my best interpretation. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Philomena is being told to drop out of school due to her family circumstances. Chise doesn't mince words. Surgeon serves the Rickenbackers. Yep. Are your kind ever tied down by something? Sometimes. You know, we make some pacts with the devil or with some deities or something. That can tie us down a little. But yeah, sorcerers are bound to their family from birth. There's all those infightings. Every clan, every family is about something. If you're born in the family of magical blacksmiths, well, you better fucking hope you're a good blacksmith, because if your talent is playing the guitar, you're no son of mine, right? So yeah, they're very much tied by blood. Subjection exists in the shadows. This is an amazing shot. I've experienced the pain of stepping into someone else's core too. Yeah. Yeah, into... what's his face? The Wandering Jew. That lives in Chise and Elias as well. He's not listed here for some reason. I know, maybe he doesn't appear in this part of the second season. I know. But yeah, she did have some insight into him. You like Philomela? Yes, she does. Look at that blush. She seems to have finally found friends too. Yeah, see, this is moments like that I feel like Veronica is a nice girl and she genuinely wants the best for Philomela. To think someone would try to poison me on my birthday. But then there's moments like that, right? I must really have people's attention. Oh, they want to poison me. I'm important. Right, there's really two sides of the coin to her. Granny seems much more, like, subdued here. She's not quite as sharp as she used to be, or rather as she is right now, which really tells me that she decided to stand up against the Rickenbackers. My master insisted that we find someone immediately given the recent incident. No, I won't. Philomela. And right, there's this side of, oh, she survived, how cool, I'm gonna have a fellow girl to talk about, tie ribbons in her hair, stuff like that. And then, this isn't a request, bitch. I'm not asking, I'm ordering you. Oh, did Lisbeth do that to you? Oh, you poor, poor thing, you're in a cage too, aren't you? I'm still stuck inside. You can't escape it, but it might as well be a nicer cage, right? This isn't a request, though. Like, I'm being nice here, right? But it's not a request. You don't get a choice. You don't get a choice there. There really is those two sides to her, and I really think this is her nature versus nurture, I guess you could say. I'm used to poison, so I'll need your help in the meantime. Rickenbackers are a medical family. Interesting detail. Perhaps it will be useful later. Just my father's familiar. I don't remember anything about my parents. Curious. Why would Philomela have selective amnesia? Or just plain amnesia? Maybe she forgot all about her childhood. That's also possible. I heard they did something awful and died. Probably it's what the granny feeds to her, right? Your parents did something awful and they died because of that. Don't be like your parents, or, you know, some shit like that. We all know how Granny Dearest is. Everyone besides her is a villain. Besides her as in everyone who stands besides her. Not like everyone... Not like she's the only righteous one and all the rest of the world is villains. The horrible bedtime story, yeah. What would you do in my shoes? Free her, give her a sulk. Free the Dobby. Even though she doesn't even know what she wants herself, we can start with that. You have no connection to this tiny little world where this all is happening. Why are you so insistent on involving yourself with her? Right, like then there's this side of Veronica. You will look at me when I'm talking to you. You're adorable. It's like Kaguya. Kaguya just immediately comes to mind. Mirror that takes on your form when you answer its call. And yeah, do you have to wonder why Violet stopped you? You are about to do something really fucking stupid, Rian. Getting between the two people that have some grief with you. You're the heir to the house. I wouldn't want Jasmine working with you. I thought you were taking over the St. George house. No, he doesn't want to take over. So he dresses as a woman. Apparently that also helps certain kinds of sorcery. And he does it because he doesn't care what family has to say. So yeah. So since the family decided that Violet is kind of, just leave him be, there's no helping it, thankfully we have Jasmine. We can make Jasmine the heir to the house. And she decided to essentially replace Violet, be the heir. Proper heir has to be male after all, so she cross-dresses as well. A very interesting explanation of why they both cross-dress. No bird is born knowing how to fly. They have to be taught by the one protecting them. There are some humans who are never taught either. Worse, some have their wings pulled out and buried under rocks. Hardly any hatchling have the luck or the strength to leave such a nest. Unlike you, who was taught everything and granted everything. Was he? Again, we really don't have any sort of a backstory on Rian. So it's kind of hard for me to judge Violet's words here. Is he actually speaking the truth? Or is he mistaken? I don't know. You're in the same position I am, and yet you thought about it this much. And yeah, you just didn't think about it enough. What exactly do I hope will happen? Why is Philomela there? I thought the mirror takes the shape of you when you call to it. When you answer its call, it just looks like you, so it's a mirror. It reflects your image. But apparently it shows Philomela. Mirror of regret? Something like that. I don't know. I fully expected either Isaac or Philomela to actually see their end through this window. But no, thankfully not. You can always bail if you don't feel up to it. You've been sticking up for me lately because we are similar. Rihanna, or rather, all kinds of things make you feel inferior. I'm the same way, so I just can't stand by and watch. Farars are blacksmiths that Scrimgeour has been depending on for generations, yes. But competition and the Farrar family is still subservient to the Scrimgeour family, the same way that surgeons are subservient to Rickenbackers. Maybe not quite as much, maybe not to the point of being servants, right? But it's the Scrimgeours who use the weapons, and Farrars are just playing second fiddle, just making these weapons, helping them, not ever being on the forefront. So yeah, it makes sense that they would be similar in that way. Could never keep up with Rian. When I get depressed or distracted, I can focus on the family business. We work with fire, so the slightest negligence can cause a horrible accident. And here started the head covering. Maybe, probably. But he was saved by Rian in the end, so they are on friendly terms. How can you be around him after all you've been through? Yeah, he saved him in the end. He's a nice guy. He's not particularly bright, he's not particularly subtle, but he's a nice guy in the end, so I just cannot hate him. By the outer world, unable to move, which is why both of us, there are a few things we need in order to move forward. Yeah, we could use some venting every now and then. Philomela can't really vent, doesn't have anybody to vent to, so she is going mad a little bit. Thankfully, Chise will be that vent for her. An avalanche of sharks. I'm pretty sure Shark Avalanche is a movie. Shark Avalanche. Avalanche Sharks. 1 star, 2.3 out of 10 on IMDb. It's a TV movie from 2014. Is the movie Shark Mountain actually a thing? Shark Mountain? Of course it is. Of course it is. It's a documentary. Shows the vanishing beauty of the ocean life. Huh, so not a shark exploitation movie. And I thought I watched Avalanche Sharks with my friends, but no, we watched a different one. We watched Zombie Avalanche, was it? Zombie Avalanche. Something like that. Something like that. Zombie Avalanche movie. Maybe not. Huh. Shit. Or maybe we did watch the one with sharks. I know. We meet every now and then at my place, and we just watch stupid shit like that with some pizza or Chinese takeout, and it's the best time of the month. I tell ya what. An avalanche of sharks. Yep. Sharks on a snowy mountain. And of course she likes the beasts. I want those secondary characters developed a little. I'm particularly curious about Sophia. What made her hair this way? There has to be some magical, sorcery, logical reason for that. And I'm curious about her backstory. Hopefully we get into it after we solve the problems, I guess you could say, of Isaac, Rian, Philomela, etc. I hope we start introducing more and more. I mean, right now, the St. George twins have been introduced into the story. Veronica has been introduced a little more, right? They were all background characters. Now they are playing first fiddle in this episode. Veronica is having fun. Everybody's having fun with this movie. You should apologize to Philomela. Absolutely, you should. And yeah, I'm not taking it back. I stand by it. I want you to change. And I think Rian it actually got through to Rian. Especially after 2 people told him the same thing. Tonight was a lot of fun. I really expected this to turn dark. I really expected this to turn sour somehow. This really seems like some sort of a death flag. Like, I know, this mysterious illness takes over the mind and then explodes the brain or something. And Jasmine isn't really Jasmine, it's a demon possessing her body. And now she says, oh, tonight was a lot of fun, and then the demon legs it through her mouth and discards carcass, or something along those lines. I fully expected this to be Jasmine affected by the illness, and the illness actually makes you feel better after a time, after it takes hold, after it grasps your mind and your body. It makes you feel better, so you go out there, and then it bursts you open and spreads the spores everywhere, or something like that. I fully expected that. Whoever you are, this, again, I fully expected this to be perhaps Granny's agent that somehow made it through, or perhaps a sleeper agent that remained at the school and woke up at Granny's behest, or something like that. But no, just a friendly spirit. Just a friendly ghost. Student from 30 years ago. And Chise is needed in the infirmary for some reason. I don't know why. Her unique abilities have something to do with it? I'm not sure. Right, the pups are glitching. I wonder why. Could it be that this werewolf doesn't actually have any offspring? It was just a memory implanted into her by Granny, so that she has a tool to control her easier? Right? It's easier to implant false memories than to implant like mind control, full mind control, right? Where are you? Helk, Magia Record, Zom 100, Nanatsu, Helk, Witch from Mercury, Ryza, Ancient Magus Bride. There we go. Ugh. The werewolf has no offspring. It's a memory implanted by Granny to control her easier. The werewolf cannot get into the academy, can she? So I guess she will be faced with Marielle and her fellow werewolf. Probably what's gonna happen. Edie, and the preview of cheerier rosebuds while Yome, before they turn into flowers, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Ugh. So, good episode. Very good episode. It didn't move the plot as much forward as I expected. I fully expected the Carnamagos Testament, the mysterious illness, all of that to come into play. But it was still very much a needed episode. We learned a lot more about Philomela, about Veronica in particular. We learned a lot more about Isaac, about Rian, about the San George twins, right? We learned a lot about all of those characters. And they also went through some very needed and very important changes. Like, Rian is much more meek, I guess you could say, and he will apologize to Philomela, I have no doubt about that. Chise perhaps now realizes the depth of what she's getting into. She's not just trying to help a friend, she has to think of all of those family dynamics, right? She has to think of what will the surgeons think of it, what will the Rickenbackers think of it. Can she insert herself into this world of these squabbles of sorcerer families? Does she want to do that, right? All of those things are working, and she will have to make a choice. She will have to make a decision sooner or later. Philomela got a new ally and perhaps got some thinking material as well. And we learned a little bit more about the St. George twins, as I already said. Yeah, very much needed and good episode of focused on interpersonal relations and characterization. That's basically it. What else can I say, really? Maybe you guys have something more to say though, so say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that, all of that. No spoilers though, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description, as free, open to everybody. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of future releases of not only Magia Record, but of not only Mahoutsukai no Yome, but also Magia Record, Helg, Shangri-La Frontier, Shy, plenty of others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified when I go live, because I do stream sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record and others, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube itself via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Network, Perspire, Zayrainer, Akamaster, Dr. Watt, Marsh, QLI, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to take part in Courage Test.